So good morning or good afternoon or evening, wherever you happen to be. My name is Craig Blanchette. I'm a member of Team Global, and I'm a global director with Take Shape for Life. It's really my pleasure to get this group together, and I'm super excited for the new people, the new faces that we're seeing, the people that have decided that they're not as healthy as they want to be, and they want to work on it in a group of other people that are like-minded. And that's really what we are at the base here. And so today we're going to go through some guest introductions. For folks that haven't been on here, I'm going to introduce Alex McMillan here in a second as well, my co-host. We're going to be talking about OPTAVia and some of the new things that we're doing there. We're going to go through referrals and what a referral really means behind the scenes. And then we're going to do a little technical detail here about how to get an overview of your business and something called the dashboard. But without further ado, I want to bring on Alex McMillan. Welcome, Alex McMillan, who's an integrated national director. He's a friend of mine and has a background in personal training and has owned even some personal training businesses. So welcome, Alex.
Hey, Craig, thanks for bringing me on, and I thank you for saying my name 7 times in a row. Appreciate that.
Alex.
My name. Humbling. I'm like going, okay, don't say it again.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I'm excited to be on with you, Craig Blanchette. Craig, let me tell you, Craig is amazing. Craig, no, I'm sorry, I couldn't help it, buddy. You getting your quota for using my name make me feel validated today, buddy?
Yeah, that's right. Want to make sure.
Cool. Yeah. All right. So now we both feel awkward and everybody else does. So no, I'm excited to be on today because of all of you. We've been talking more and more about what it means to be a Take Shape for Life health coach and what it means to be part of OPTAVia. And the thing I'm most excited about moving forward, it's really about serving the people and adding value to another person's life. At the end of the day, we can talk about a brand or a product or how amazing we're going to save the world. You can talk about all that if you want. But really, it just starts with, can I help a person, right? Can I help a person move from a place where they're not doing so well in their mindset or their health, and can I add some value? And that's what I'm excited about today. And so, Craig, your lineup is great. We have some amazing people on board. I'm not sure what you have next on the list, but I want to get right into it.
Yeah. So this is so some of you that are new here, we do this particular Friday meeting for very specific reasons. And one of the things, like I mentioned in the intro, is that I doubt any one of us is as healthy as they want to be in the 3 primary areas of the trilogy: financially, emotional or mentally, or physically, right? And so we may be healthier than we've ever been, but we're probably not as healthy as we want to be. And so that's what this group is at a core. Now, for me, it started with physical health. I wasn't as physically healthy as I wanted to be. And that was the primary reason to get started. And then I realized that actually that was affected by the other 2 areas, mental and financial. And so with that, it's important that we do this together. And that's the OPTAVia way, is our healthy community. Because you end up becoming like the people that you hang around with. And I like hanging around with you guys. You make me better and you keep me going. And so that's one of the main reasons, is to experience this culture and know that there's other people out there. But the second thing is that we ask you to do some training, and we want to invite new people to experience this culture that doesn't know something like this exists, or maybe doesn't understand the value of it. So we're going to model that for them. And so at this point, we had this call for a while, and then we went away to a different time slot. And now this is the second week where we're back at this new time slot, and I'm really enjoying all aspects of it. So the reason why I did that intro is that some of you may haven't been here for a while, and so it'd be fun to hear your first name, where you're from, and how long you've been involved. So just a couple of things. Actually, what we'll do is your name. Actually, I'll call on you so that it'll tell you your name. Who invited you, how long you've been involved, and where you're from. So that's what we'll start off with. And actually, why don't we start? I'll start off with Alex. Even though I've said your name a number of times.
Yeah.
Who invited you? Where are you from? And how long have you been coaching?
No, it's my pleasure. And I'd also like to add, if you could just share not any back history, but just what your either your current occupation is or former occupation was prior to becoming a health coach, just so we can relate to the industry and what your kind of thought processes are. So I'm Alex McMillan, if you didn't know that. I am from Ridgefield, Washington, originally Portland, Oregon, in the Northwest. And my occupation, personal trainer and speaker on health and wellness around the fitness industry. And Craig Blanchett, I actually sought him out because I'd heard he was the coach of someone who was a client of mine, and he is the person who came and educated me, and I'm inspired. So thank you, Craig.
Yeah, awesome. All right, we're going to go to Robin next. I unmuted you.
Hello, I'm Robin Deshane from New Hampshire, and my occupation is I was formerly a teacher, and my husband and I own a carpet and upholstery cleaning business, as well as I watch my 3-year-old granddaughter in the process of all this. And I've been involved since the end of April. Howard Partridge got me involved, and I think that covers everything I'm supposed to say.
Yeah, perfect. Welcome, Robin. Awesome stuff. All right, Cynthia, you're up next.
Hey, I'm Cynthia Kennedy. I live in Santa Rosa Beach, Florida, on the beautiful Gulf of Mexico, and got invited by none other than the great Howard Partridge.
Nice.
That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Yeah, and what do you do now for your profession?
I'm a realtor.
Realtor, got it. Yep. Excellent. All right. We have a few realtors here as well. All right. So, the Thompsons, or not the Thompsons, but whatever you guys.
That would be North.
Yeah, exactly.
David.
The North Thompsons or whatever. Let's see. Well, you already know my name, Diane Thompson. This is David North, my husband. And I've been doing this for over 4 years now. Alex McMillan invited me, and I currently live in Cookeville, Washington, which is on the beautiful island of Whidbey, and originally from Maine. So the gal from New Hampshire, we were neighbors at one point, I think. So anyway,
So what's your previous profession?
Oh, yes. I'm a registered dietitian and nutrition consultant.
All right. And how about you, David?
And well, I'm a minister of the gospel, and my beautiful wife invited me to this thing, and hey, it's good. I lost a lot of weight in this process, about 35 pounds, and I managed to keep it off, so I'm still going.
Awesome. Welcome.
Love it.
All right, Carrie, you're up. I unmuted you.
Thank you. Carrie from Rochester, Washington, and I am a project coordinator for the state, and I've been involved for about 2.5 years.
And who invited you?
Kim Stewart. She's my sister-in-law and health coach.
Nice. Good. Welcome. All right, Jim Markham, you're up.
I am currently living in Central Oregon, Redmond. I got invited by Murray Skillstead, and I have a company where I help people with their hearing.
Awesome. Great stuff. And how about Linda Gilstrap?
Yes. I'm from Winlock, Washington, and I've been on program I celebrated my 1-year anniversary July 15th, so over a year now. I was invited by Martin Forbes, who is my health coach, and I am a realtor.
Realtor. Awesome. Welcome. Realtors. Unite. All right. Kim Stewart, you're up. Welcome, Kim.
Thank you. I'm from Rochester, Washington. I was formally trained as a teacher, and then when I had my oldest, I started working at our church as an administrative assistant. My current occupation is primarily health coach. I spend a little bit of time as an administrator at our church now, and I have been part of the program for over 3 years and a health coach for 2.5, and Daniela Carulli invited me here.
Awesome. Welcome, Kim. Don Bickle.
Hey, Craig. How are you, brother?
Doing great.
Good. Hey, so I was invited, I guess, by Ruth Treebwasser, who is actually not in the program, but invited me anyway, which is pretty cool. She was talking to my wife. She was on a Zoom with you. I was listening in to everything that was going on and said, I'm in. And so that's how that happened. I'm from St. Louis, Missouri. And I am currently a parts manager. I've been a service technician for over 40 years in the commercial food service industry. And I am absolutely loving OPTAVia and all of the fuelings. I'm back on 5 and 1 and dropping the pounds again, buddy.
Good job, Don. Good to have you.
I just picked up a new client, and he just got in. I've got his food sitting right here. We're meeting this evening. He wants to meet at a restaurant because he wants to be obedient to the 5 and 1 program. So we're going to meet at a restaurant and have a lean and green.
Nice.
And he's going to learn that technique. And then I'm going to give him his food, and he'll be on starting this weekend.
Nice. All right.
Yep.
Groceries for everyone. Good to see you, Don. Ruth, you're up.
Hi, I'm Ruth Markham, and I was invited by Murray Skillstead a year ago. So I've been with Take Shape for a year, and I've lost some. And I currently live in Central Oregon. That's Redmond, Oregon. And I am a data specialist for Redmond High School.
Redmond High School. It's the first data specialist we have. How exciting. All right, Dan Steets. What's up, Dan?
So I'm Dan. I'm from Rochester, Minnesota. I was trying to remember. Craig invited me. I think this is number 3 years now.
3, okay.
Okay. And let's see, in my former life, I was a production manager. So.
Got it. Good to see you, Dan. He's also a hand cyclist, and a fast one at that currently. All right, Daniela.
Yes, so fun to be here. So my husband and I have a medical practice, an art gallery, and a facility that we lease out. So we're have our hands in all this stuff, but the really great thing is I am Take Shape for Life. I am OPTAVia. I'm really excited about that. We were invited in a wonderful way. We were looking for a way to really infuse health into our patients. And we were fortunate enough to have a wonderful team, Diane Thompson, Alex McMillan, and Craig Blanchett, just come upon our office and share this wonderful gift that has been a gift in our lives. Personally, my husband and I each lost, I lost 20, he lost 25 pounds 4 years ago, which we've never seen come back, which is really awesome. And so we're in Camas, Washington. So I think I covered everything. Thank
you. Great job, Daniela. All right, Maureen, you're up. I unmuted you.
Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Maureen McDade Frazier. I'm from Vancouver, Washington. And it's been, it'll be 2 years, October. Daniela Carulli introduced me to Take Shape for Life. And shortly after that, I became a coach, and I'm loving it. Was able to get off 40 pounds, and it's stayed off. So I'm blessed. I also am a high school counselor. So I've been doing that for, yikes, close to 30 years. Long time. Yeah, but I'm loving the health coaching, and the OPTAVia going to National Convention was a blessing for me.
Yeah, it was good to see you there.
Thank
Glad
you.
to have you. All right, Eileen.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm Eileen Butler, and I was invited to Take Shape for Life by my daughter, Lisa White. And her coach is Alex McMillan, and he invited me to this along with Craig. I've been doing Take Shape for Life for a year, July 8th, and I've lost 30 pounds. I gained a couple back, but at least I've been able to pretty much maintain. But I still am on the journey. I want to probably lose another 15 pounds because I'm borderline diabetic, and my doctor says, hey, you know, you're doing good, but keep on doing good. So.
Mm-hmm. And what do you?
I live in Folsom, California, right above Sacramento.
Yeah. And then what was the career, past career or current career?
I was a federal employee. I was a secretary with FEMA, and I retired last March 2015.
Awesome. All right. Good to have you. Betsy, as you're taking the right-hand turn there.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, Betsy Stevens, Craig Blanchett invited me to join this wonderful group.
I met Betsy at a Rotary meeting.
That's exactly right. And that was about little over 4 years ago. I've been a health coach for a little over 3 years, and lost 50 pounds originally, gained maybe about 8 or 9 back. Loving the OPTAVia challenge and looking forward to changing my, getting off those last few extra pounds. And I think for me, the most fun part about this group is being able to change the new normal and enjoying being in my 60s and enjoying abnormal health for a 60-year-old, which is health. So.
Yeah. And what do you do for a profession?
Oh, yes. I help people with their jewelry needs. I have been a retail jeweler and designer for 39 years. So now I have a dual jobs. I help people with their jewelry and I assist people to health.
Awesome, Betsy. Glad to have you. Okay, Martin, you're up.
Oh, you even unmuted me.
Yep. It's the first class service we get here.
Man, not used to that. I'm used to flying Southwest. Class. I was born 4 years ago. Take Shape for Life. Before that, I was a recovering corporate person, recovering accountant, recovering unhealthy fat person.
Accountant, okay.
Well, not a CPA, not just an accountant. A CPA.
Got it.
There's a difference. I took a test one time in my life.
Yep.
And 4 years, and the person who invited me is actually not involved anymore.
Okay, got it. So we're, Martin and I mentor quite a bit together. So good to have you, Martin. And you live in Washougal, or what do you live at? Ridgefield?
I'm currently residing in Ridgefield.
Ridgefield, Washington. All right. Okay, Linda B. What's up, chicken?
Hey! Well, I am so excited to be back here on Fridays. I missed all of you guys because I wasn't able to make Tuesday nights. So this is really fun for me to be back on here. I've been a part of Take Shape, Craig. I think it's been 3 years, or has it been 2?
Probably 3.
I think it's 3. I've been coaching for about 2. I used to work at a nonprofit in Portland, Oregon, and now my husband and I moved to Colorado, where I'm a full-time health coach. And am I missing anything else?
You're an aunt. That's your other vocation.
That is my other vocation. I am an auntie, and love the time and freedom that health coaching brings to do the things that we love to do and prepare for life in a big way.
Yeah. One of the things that Linda got involved in Take Shape is when in the future, whenever she was able to start a family, she wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. And then she had a lot of college loans. And didn't you recently just finish off paying off all your college loans?
We did. We just got debt-free 2 months ago. So
yeah,
took the sacrament, moved, and was able to, and all while I was staying at home and helping my sister out with her baby.
Well, yeah, and the Take Shape for Life, what your vocation as a Take Shape for Life coach, it basically paid those off like lickety split. Yeah.
Yep.
Awesome. Awesome. All right, Cindy, you're up.
What's up?
I unmuted you. Good morning.
Okay, good morning. Well, my name is Cindy Noble, and I was invited to be a health coach from Miss Linda B. Did Take for Life last September and became a coach in November. So now I'm just realizing it'll be almost a year next month. So, let's see. I'm from Colorado Springs, Colorado, and I have 3 beautiful boys. I'm married to an accountant / pastor. So I'm also a pastor's wife and music minister, children's coordinator in a small church. But I get paid for being a nurse part-time. So really excited. I actually started the OPTAVia line today. I was going to start Monday, and my husband was like, why do you have to start Monday when you can start today? Good point. South of the house.
Awesome.
Today. Yeah.
Cool. All right. Looks like your video is getting a little sketchy, but awesome. Glad you're here.
Thanks.
Yep. All right. And then we have somebody on telephone, 4331. Who's that?
Hi, Craig. It's Debbie.
Hi, Debbie.
Debbie Lundstedt.
Yep.
How are you?
I'm fabulous. Yeah.
I live in Portland, Oregon, and I started Take Shape for Life officially in September 2015. Was invited by a former coach through the challenges that I ended up, and I'm happy with. Alex and Jill McMillan are my health coaches, and I became a health coach in January 2016, and I love the program. So that's why I did it. So
Awesome.
That's it.
What do you do for your current vocation?
Oh, I'm a retail accountant for Pendleton Woolen Mills in Portland, Oregon.
Perfect. Awesome. Glad you joined us today. Thanks. Yeah. All right. So did I miss anybody? I think I got everybody. Jeremy Stewart. I wonder if he's available to talk. Unmute. Jeremy, are you available to chat with us?
Not really, but sorry, I'm at work. But
so where's your work? Where do you work?
I'm a restaurant manager.
Okay. Awesome. And you're married to Kim Stewart, I would assume.
Yes. Kim is my wonderful wife of just over 18 years, and I've been involved with Take Shape for Life for about a little over 2 years, and I lost about 55 pounds on my health journey.
Awesome. Good. Thanks for joining us. I love I love the reality that there's a lot of you that are just making it happen. Some of you are driving, some of you are working, many of you are working, and you realize that this community is valuable to you. And I know it is to me as well. And we hear over and over and over again about these amazing sort of products that are out there and things that are going to change our lives. And there's no way that a fueling or a pill or a magic drink is going to build healthy into your life, right? In the end, what it comes down to is the community of the people that you hang around. They'll pull you one direction. If the 5 closest people to you are less healthy than you, then it's going to be an uphill battle. It's going to be a constant challenge. If the people are healthier than you, they're going to pull you along. And so together, this group pulls me in a good direction, and that's why I come. And then the other thing that this does is that I want this to be like a magnet that attracts other people to it that aren't as healthy as they want to be, and maybe they don't have that healthy community, and so they can plug into here and allow the healthiness of this group to rub off on us all. And I really think that it does that. So next up, I wanted to just chat a little bit about OPTAVia. And so for those of you that aren't aware, OPTAVia is the new brand name that Take Shape for Life is going to be transitioning over to in the next 12 months, essentially. And so the way that works is we found that our roots began with a company called Medifast. Medifast has been around for 30 plus years and was initially designed as a prescription for doctors to use to people to lose weight before surgery. It was an effective, safe way to lose a good amount of extra fat so that people would survive surgeries, because there was a high mortality rate if you were obese. And so the program was designed to lose 40 pounds in 2 months. And it was effective, and people would go have their surgery, and they didn't have any skill sets to keep the weight off. It wasn't really designed for that. So Dr. A found, because he's a doctor, knew about Medifast and said, well, what if we took this great weight loss thing, but we added some more on the back end and we taught people some skills, and maybe we could teach people to actually help other people. And so that's how health coaching started. And then he wrote The Habits of Health. And so Take Shape for Life was launched as this community, this lifestyle change program that used a tool called Medifast. Well, what's happened over the years is we've really tried to really focus on the optimal well-being, the optimal healthy lifestyle. And so our roots back to the weight loss company Medifast ended up being confusing to some, because it's so easy to make this about losing weight, because after all, isn't everybody trying to do that on planet Earth? And so we've been working with a brand expert for the last couple of years. Her name's Helen Irwin. And so they just announced at convention that we're transitioning to a new brand. We're rebranding ourselves. And the new brand is called OPTAVia. And it stands for, I think it's Latin for the optimal way. And because via is way and opta is optimal. And so what we're doing is not much has actually changed, other than we're becoming more of who we are. It's kind of interesting way of thinking about it. The 4 components of the OPTAVia way are a health coach. So you have a personal guide. You have the habits of health. So you actually have a system to plug into. The third one is that you have a healthy community. Well, you're experiencing a little bit of that today. There's other ways to experience that community with our podcasts and our support calls. And then the fourth one is that we have fuelings. And fuelings are a way, we are what we eat. The things that we go through this little hole in our face, our mouth, actually get broken down and literally, it's who's here is a Star Trek fan, right? Well, you have the transporter beam or machine. Well, sometimes there was an episode on that where something else got in there, and what came out on the other side was a mixture of you and this other thing, and it was bad, right? And so it depends on, this is when we eat things, they actually integrate and become part of us. So if we eat things with lots of artificial colorings, that color has to be, it gets integrated into our bodies somehow. And if we eat foods that are high in fat, everything that you put in your mouth becomes part of you. And so with the new fuelings is, even the old fuelings, we have high nutritious, valuable meals that keep us from not fueling, skipping meals, which is the number one thing that I've seen with people. And in addition to that, the new OPTAVia fuelings have no artificial anything. They're a premium line, really, really high quality, and they are a step in the right direction for those that are really focused and want to go to that next level. One of the questions that I had from a lot of people that have been coaching for a while is what's going to happen to our current line over the next year? And so the answer to that is that OPTAVia will have 2 lines. We'll have a standard line and a premium line. And the standard line will be rebranded OPTAVia, and then there'll be the premium OPTAVia line, which is the only line that's currently available. But I'm curious if you guys have any questions about OPTAVia, and maybe even some mental shifting that's happening as you're thinking about what's healthy, what's healthier, what's healthiest, things like that. And so why don't we start with Linda Benson? If you want to join, you can always raise your hand. It's down at the bottom of the screen where you click on participants, and then you can actually raise your hand. But go ahead, Linda.
Yeah, thank you. I'm actually really excited because I think this is what needs to happen with the evolving of our culture and where we're going. Just for clarification, Craig, you're saying that, if I can say it out loud, Medifast will eventually no longer be a part of Take Shape, or is Medifast going to rebrand as a company as well?
Yeah, I think Medifast will, I'm not sure what they're going to do. My assumption, we're always connected to Medifast. They're like a really, really high-tech manufacturing facility that is very efficient. It's all United States based. So all of the OPTAVia meals are still going to be manufactured through the manufacturing facility of Medifast. But Medifast will probably have its own brand, and then OPTAVia will have its own brand. Now, some of the OPTAVia offerings will be rebranded Medifast meals. You know, there'll be probably a few tweaks, but we're going to have a standard line, and then we'll have the premium OPTAVia line. So 2 lines of OPTAVia.
Okay, and that'll upgrade as well, just like the new packaging, new boxes.
Possibly. Don't know about that because there's going to be 2 price points. That's the main point. We'll have your price conscious folks that don't mind, because artificial things are cheaper. And so for folks that need to go from McDonald's, which is very cheap, very artificial, to Medifast, that's a big upgrade, right? By the way, everybody on here has become healthier because of the Medifast meals and the 5-in-1 and the Habits of Health system. Everybody here that's experienced our program. I lost all my weight with the Medifast meals. They were an upgrade to my nutrition. Now I have something, a second upgrade. And so that's...
Greg, I want to jump in and lend a little bit on that too, just so we're clear. So with my understanding from Dr. Anderson on this is that what happens is you don't have to worry about not having Medifast anymore. So don't think that the upgrade is McDonald's to Medifast and then they don't get us. The upgrade now would be the McDonald's to our core OPTAVia line, which is not yet introduced. So there's going to be Medifast meals transferring over to OPTAVia. And when they transfer over, they have to meet some new guidelines to be underneath that label. They're going to upgrade the formulation a little bit, but there's going to be a core line. So we don't have to worry about losing people who were attracted to Medifast, because there's some power in what that's done. Just like Craig said, we're going to have that lower price point too. That's the bottom line, just underneath our own unique brand, so we don't have to tell the old backstory of Medifast and try and, if you will, deal with some of the mentality of the people who had done the weight loss thing with the old world Medifast where they didn't get support. Well, now when they come into OPTAVia, they'll get everything that Medifast had to offer and then some. And then we'll also have our new Prime line, if you will, that has all of the non-GMO and more of the holistic ingredients. And just FYI, from what I've heard, it's going to get better and better and better. Like the stuff that they're going to continue to introduce is just amazing. So there you go.
I've even heard some like some sports lines that they're talking about. One of the things I want to be clear about here, and this is a good time to go into this, is if you think about where you're at right now and how long it took you to get where you are. Like Alex was in the health and fitness industry for years, 22
years now.
22 years, right? So before
at the time when I met you, it was 17 years.
Yeah. And so I know some people that have been working on their health for a long time. They're students of it. And for example, the Preston Box. When I met the Preston Box, they had been
some people don't know who they are. So they're global directors in Take Shape for Life who have a very large organization now.
Yep.
Okay.
And they're part of our team. They just have their own meetings because they have enough people that we can't fit everybody in here. And they have been fitness professionals, owned a gym. They're part of Alex's team. And when I first talked with Sam and Harold years ago, they said, we've been doing paleo for 10 years. I mean, it's taken us 10 years to get to where we're at with paleo. And that in their mind was of the way that they felt was the best thing. And when I talked to them about...
Let's stop for a moment. For those of you who don't know, paleo is a very holistic, organic way of eating where nothing is processed. Go ahead, Craig.
Yeah. But there's some downsides to that, meaning you are married to your kitchen, right? You literally spend your whole weekend prepping meals for the week. And so there's some upsides and downsides, of course, right? So all that to say is, and I'm not saying that's the best way to eat. I'm just saying that's what they thought was their. And so when I said, well, what if you were to talk about these fuelings from MetaFast and the Habits of Health system and all that, and they said, well, that would be very controversial because we've been talking about this this super extreme level is the starting point. And I said, well, didn't it take you 10 years to get there? And they were like, oh, gulp. And I said, what about the rest of us that don't have 10 years? And so then they said, well, let's take another look at it. And so they were able to come down and have access to people to bring them from where they are to the next step. And then that became their new reality, to the next step. And so they were able to use the essence of our true program, which is not a meal replacement, which is not a diet plan, but it's a community of growth where you can go from where you are over time to where you want to be. And that's the essence of what Take Shape for Life is. It's not a meal replacement. It's not a fueling. It's not even a book. But it's a process of change over time of going from where you are to where you want to be, and then to where you want to be, and then to where you want to be. So,
Craig, as you mentioned that, I'm really glad that you talked about that, because that elitist mentality, we're going to come across that as coaches. I was there in my mind when I met you. I was at the place where I was willing to humble myself. I was on a little bit more of the proactive side where I recognized what us elitists were doing. And when I say elitist, people who were at the nth degree of teaching health and fitness and wellness, it wasn't working to bring in my mom. It wasn't working to bring in the people I loved and cared about. I was not relevant. And you helped inspire me in that way of thinking. So I'm glad we're talking about this topic. To put a bow on it, I'd love to hear another comment from someone else who's probably here because of you choosing not to choose that elitist mentality, right?
Yeah.
Is there someone else who has questions or comments?
And I know Betsy had her hand up, and so it might be, but I'll unmute you, Betsy, here. Go ahead.
I just sent you a text, Craig.
Oh, you did?
But that's okay. I have heard people refer to the new premium products as all organic.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't hear that word used. Are they all organic, or are they just non-GMO? There is a difference.
Well, they're non-GMO and there's no artificial anything. Those are the terms that we've used. Just because there's no artificial stuff doesn't mean it's all organic, and that gets more into the definitions of what organic is.
And I think we need to be careful about that so that we aren't we just have to be sure how I don't want to say sell, because we don't sell, but how we represent a product. We need to represent it truly.
Yeah. And so the terms are no artificial anything. And then I say colors, sweeteners, or flavorings. And then I say it's also non-GMO. 9 out of the 13 are gluten-free. And they all have probiotics for a healthy gut. And that's what I say. Plus they taste, the tastes are pretty exotic and unique. So that's how I've been talking about it.
Great comment, Betsy. So true. Again, someone who is very well, knows a lot of the holistic population who teaches that level. If you say something is something and they find out that it's not, you lose credibility and you misrepresent. So speak to what we are. It's enough. Who we are and what we are is enough. And as the company continues to bring out new lines, I'm sure we'll be able to make more and more great claims in that regard.
Yep. And then just so you know, well, actually that's irrelevant to this topic, but making claims. So Martin, you're up.
Yeah, I was just going to add in when you're when you're talking a little bit about Harold and Sam having that shift in their thought process, and a lot of us, when we're helping people, we want to try and we're thinking we can help them get to where we want to be, and the shift for them was, it's not where I want to be. We're pretty fit. It took us 10 years to get here. We need to help people to get to where they need to, where they want to be, and it may not be on our path.
Yeah.
It may not be with the tools that we use, but here are some powerful tools that can help them get to where they want to be.
So in that regard, Martin, let me just tell you something that Harold said to me at this national convention as he was there with 40 of his health coaching team, okay, approximately right around that number, which represents a couple thousand people, almost a couple thousand people now getting healthy, is that, and that's not that's not their entire team. He said this, he said, I'm really, really glad that we chose to focus on people and their needs as opposed to what our beliefs and what we were doing. That we chose to get out of our own way and to do that. That's why all of you are here, because had Sam and I stayed in our mentality, none of this team would be here helping people around the country.
Yep.
And it's the same thing right now with Craig being an Olympic athlete and nutrition and everything at that level. If he would have stayed in that status symbol of who he was, he'd be out looking for sponsorships all the time and looking for radio shows and TV shows, and that's what he used to do, guys. He used to do all that stuff, and he chose to get into his life that he wanted, and I love it. That's what we're about.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Daniela.
Yeah, I just, along the lines of that elite, not that we were the elitists, but we would send our patients to people who were along those lines. Fitness trainers. We, for a couple of years, were sending our patients to a well-known fitness facility and, getting that personal training. We also tried nutritionists and hospital programs that were dedicated to the whole food philosophy and things like that. And, nothing happened, nothing changed. Not for one person was there permanent change as a result of any of that. Whereas what we're offering now and what we're sharing, the people that I'm working with, the people that my coaches are working with, wow, we have people with permanent change, and we have people affecting change on their lives.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's interesting when you say that. When we refer somebody to something else, we want to refer them to the best, right? But we quantify what the best is based upon our perspective, right? What if, and that's the OPTAVia way, is let's send somebody to what's the best for them. Think about that for a minute. It may not be, for some people, the best is to become a triathlete. That's for very few, quite frankly, right? Some of you would be like, no, thank you. I hate riding bikes. I don't even like the water. I barely drink it, right? And so think about that for a minute. The best for some of us is not the best for all of us. And so that the Take Shape for Life way and the OPTAVia way is, let's find out what the best is from you. And guess who gets to tell me? You do. So I listen to where you are, and I listen to where you would like to be, and then I see if I can help you get there. That's what we do. And that doesn't happen in a meal replacement, but we might use them. We might use fuelings. We might use a lot of different things. So, Kim Stewart.
I don't know if this is taking off topic or not, but I just really love what you're describing, Craig, about that journey of transformation. And if we're focused on the change in our products and stuff, I can hold this for another time, but I'm excited that we have more options, but what I really get excited about is the community piece and that line of thinking. And a couple of the things that were mentioned, I just as being part of this 90-day challenge, my mind has really been reflecting on that process of growth. And I had one of my coaches point out to me just, some of my own growth. And the interesting thing is it's not about the scale as far as going down, I'm realizing that my mindset has come so far that it's really important to understand the distance between where I started so that I can help those people that are there. But I'm also realizing that the distance between that unhealthy mind and my mind is getting farther and farther apart, which is really exciting. But it can be hard. It can be, we've talked about this in other avenues. It can be distancing ourselves from certain relationships and all of those pieces. So I really am excited to be here with all of you guys. And OPTAVia, the change to OPTAVia in my mind is so much bigger than a bar or a product. It's
Totally.
really, and defining those I could give you so many examples, but for me, probably the most profound difference is when I started, I think it was linked to my weight, specifically not feeling really close relationships, and being at a place now where I feel like I have more friends than I've ever had, would ever imagine, and higher level friends, deeper relationships. I call many of them clients and coaches, but they really are friends.
So good. Thank you for being part of this. Awesome. Diane. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, here I am. So I'm one of those nutritionists that Dr. Carulli's office probably referred to. And, there's a elitist mentality in my profession. There really is. I think because we're dietitians and have masters in nutrition or what have you, that we have all the answers. But someone asked me a question. It was Jonathan Carter. He asked me, well, what kind of success rates do you have? And it made me really step back and think, oh my gosh, I was a success story of my own knowledge and lifestyle, but I couldn't get anybody else to duplicate what I knew they had to do because of how difficult it was. Because I think it was Alex, or maybe it was Craig, that said, they had to be in the kitchen all day, which I happen to love to do because I garden and do all these crazy things, do Ironman and marathons. But those are things that are not very duplicatable for 99.9% of the population. So when someone asked me that question, and I really looked inward and thought about all of what I had done and really the lack of success and the frustration I was having, I decided, and it was timing, I think. Alex had introduced it to me and still a little hesitant. Took me probably 6 months. But then when I saw the success stories, I it was like a no-brainer, because it was like, who cares what my training is? The difference is I want to make a real difference in people's lives that they can maintain over a lifetime.
Yep.
So
perfect. So thank you all for your sharing. I hope you guys see the heart of what we're doing here. And it really, to put a bow on it, it really has to do with learning to meet people where they are, connect with them, actually make a connection, find out what's going on in their life, and then find out over time in that relationship, you're going to find out where they wish they were versus where they are. And it'll happen. If you look for it, you'll see it. And then maybe you can do something to partner up with them, because maybe you know a little bit about how to get them from where they are to where they want to be. We have a lot of tools that are built to do that. But that's the essence of what we do here, is we really relate to somebody and we get to know where they are, and we talk about where they want to be, and then we offer to partner. Sometimes we don't have to offer, it just happens. So, and that leads me into the next topic here, where we talk about referrals. And there's a couple reasons. Referrals is the technical term for it, but really it's building community. when some of you were referred by somebody, and now you're here in this community. And I know that if I refer somebody to my health coach before I was coaching, that's somebody that I know that's then going to be moving forward on their health journey, which guess what? That's what I'm trying to do. So now from one, there became two. So a referral to my health coach ended up being a building of my community. Now in the process, my coach was able to then help somebody else. So sure, their health coach practice grew. But my coach's community also grew that day. So I hope you start to see, like, hopefully a light bulb just went on. The referrals, the technical term, is a way of building community. Every coach is part of a community. Some of that community is your clients, right? Some of you have some of your clients that also are helping other people. They're coaches too. And every time one of you introduces me in a client story call so you have a client that's doing a great job and you introduce them to me, they become part of my community. Do you realize that I get a value from that too? Now I know a new person and I have a new story and I can relate. And that's so powerful. And so when you're looking for referrals, think about it. I was just talking to a coach recently, and they were talking about, do you have anybody that I could help? And that felt like it was all about the coach and building their health coach practice. And so we talked about not making it about them, but making it about the person and their community. And so we always say, who's noticing? Do you think that they'd be interested in making some changes themselves? Well, yeah. Well, do you know that if they did, let's say that 5 people they work with, they refer to you, and you help those 5 people with the same thing you're helping them with. Now, all of a sudden, when they go to work, they're surrounded by this team of powerful, healthy people that are doing the same thing they're doing. Do you think that's going to rock their world? Yeah. Well, as a byproduct, your health coach practice is going to grow. Yep, it's just going to happen. But the community is what? So if you're not asking for referrals, who's noticing? Do you think they would? Do you think they are interested? They're as healthy as they want to be? No. Do you know that actually we can partner up and help them? I'll do the coaching and you can do the supporting, or you can coach them and I'll support you coaching them. But if you don't ask for those kinds of things, or you don't understand the concept of what a referral really is, then you may not be asking. Kim, you had a comment.
Yeah, I just a realization of a concept, and I have let this go a while ago, but I think, many of us, when we get into coaching, we don't want to sell and tell. That's not our motive. We do want to help people. And I know that when I was encouraged to ask for referrals, I felt like, oh, this is kind of the selling part of it, and this is for me, and this is going to grow my business, and so I was really apprehensive about doing that. But when you see it, I just like what you said, Craig, when you see it from the other perspective, if I'm afraid somebody might think that I'm selling this to him for my own benefit, what if I am robbing them of their success because they don't have a big enough community around them? And that was a big shift in thinking, because now I will ask for referrals. And if they do think that I'm selling for my own benefit, I feel perfectly okay with that, because that is not my intent. My intent is for them to help them grow their community. And if that's, hopefully they'll know me well enough over the course of our relationship, they'll realize that that's not my intent.
Well, and by the way you ask for it, you say, did you know this? And you talk about the community, who's noticing, and what if we partnered up with them and they got to experience what you just told me, which is you fit in a size 8 jeans or whatever it is, that thing that your direct client is pumped about. What if you were able to help your mom do that too? What would you think about that? Well, let's get us all together and let's do this together, right?
Yeah. And I just don't, I mean, this is part of the mindset growth too. I don't want to allow fear of what somebody might think of me to prevent me from doing something that is right and has somebody else's best interest in mind.
Yep. So this is a great topic. I know we're right up against, we got about a minute left before the top of the hour. So I hope that you got some, first of all, we accomplished a couple of things today. I got one more thing left, but we accomplished a bunch of great things. We all got to meet each other. We got to get cozy again. You know, it's warm here. It's the nice jacuzzi feeling. We have our community and our culture. I love it. I love hanging out with you guys. We're going to do this again in a week, right? Next Friday. We also talked about OPTAVia and just this transition of mind shift, that we're more than a meal replacement. We're more than a fueling. We're more than a Habits of Health book, right? We're a community and a culture that says, I'm not as healthy as I want to be, and I'm going to do something about it with you, right? That's powerful. And then we talked about referrals and what the essence of a referral really is. It's a way to build that community. It's a way to help the people around you that are desperate. Think back for a minute. Everybody stop for a minute. Imagine your life before Take Shape. Right? Imagine. Hopeless days. I wasn't sure what the future held. Oh, it was going to be another attempt, a failed attempt. You know, loneliness, you know, all those things. And now what we have with Take Shape, right? It's great. It's good. It's growing. There's hope, right? And then, so that's what referrals mean, is building this community. So don't be afraid to help somebody. Don't be afraid to partner with somebody and say, hey, I remember that, and I'm figuring some of this out, and I need some support. So why don't you do this with me, right? Could change the world. Actually, it will. That is the only way the world will change, actually. And last thing, and now this is just a little kind of technical piece. I always want to kind of end with just a little bit of a technical piece. As you're building your health coach practice, you have something, you have your something called Office in Motion. If you're a health coach, you know what I'm talking about. And it's a way to track things. Well, as your health coach practice grows, there's more numbers in there. And each one of those numbers is associated with a life, right? A person, a human being. Well, there's some ways that you can track things that are really, really easy. And there's something called a dashboard. So I'm just going to give you a little idea of what the dashboard is. When you first log in, you see this page. You're usually on the home page. Well, the next button over is called Dashboard. I dare you to click it. Right? So next time you're in there, go click on that dashboard thing, and then it's going to come up with a page that's like this, right? And this page here, it just has an overview of what your businesses look like, leads, if you qualify for the lead program, your frontline, your volume, your ranks, your order summaries, you know, group volume. And if you scroll down, which I won't do because there's a lot of personal data there, if you scroll down, then you'll see the coaches. You have a list where you can see a quick overview of all the coaches that are on your teams and where they're at. And so it's a really nice way to just get an overview of what's going on in your business. Now, if you don't have coaches that are in there yet, you can still find value on this. The top right there where it says orders for the day, orders for the week, orders for the month. You can click on those and see what's happening with your clients and what's happening that week. So it's a really nice way to concentrate a lot of data into a dashboard, if you will. So hopefully, if for some of you that's not new, for some of you that might be new, or it might be a reminder, oh yeah, I'll go click on that. So there's a little tech tip for the day. I'm super thrilled you guys are joining us this week. I do like to end on a timely manner. Going forward, there are a couple of things based upon you being a client that will help move you forward. I want to talk about those. And then I want to talk about the two things that will help you move forward in your coaching practice, your skills and your ability to help others. Right? So on Monday nights, 5 o'clock, there's a support call, right? That's the, I think it's the nurse's call. It's Mondays at 5. And then at 6 o'clock, is if you're a coach. So Monday nights, the one main thing I want to let you know is Monday evenings, you have some personal client support as a client, and then you have some coaching support. One's at 5, one's at 6. Got it? And then on Wednesdays at 5 p.m. Pacific, you have the Habits of Health call. Again, that's for you as a client and for your clients, right? Great community. And then on Friday, we have this. This is 9 a.m. Pacific. You know how to get here because you're here. But 9 a.m. Pacific, every Friday, we're going to do an hour. Now, this is the Monday night coaches training is very large. It's all of the company. Usually Dr. A is casting vision and he's talking about things. Where here, we're getting a little bit more cozy. This is just our team. So we get to know names and faces, and we get to do a lot of give and take, pushback, conversations, and we get to know the human, the person there. And in the future, we're going to do role plays. We're going to practice sharing our stories. We're going to do lots of different things. And one of the biggest things that we do is something called Take Shape for Life University. And that's where we listen to one of the support calls, doctor, nurse, or Habits of Health, or we read a chapter in the Habits of Health book. You do something, and then you come on and you actually share what you learned with the rest of us. And so what I'd like you to do is my phone number is the meeting ID for this number. So it's the 503 number. I would like it if you would like to listen to one of the support calls and give us a 3-minute recap next week. I would like you to send me a text message and say, I would like to do that. Because it does two things. One, it helps you to listen and connect, but it also helps us to learn from you. So I need one person for the nurse call, one person for the doctor call, and one person for the Habits of Health. So I need 3. So send me a text if you'd like, and the first 3 people we'll pick for next week, and then we'll do a training after that as well. So, Linda, did you still have a question or a comment? Yep.
I just wanted to confirm I'd like to start. I haven't made those Monday nights a priority, and I want to start doing that. Is it 6 o'clock Pacific Standard Time? Yes, for the leadership call. Yes, it's actually called Starting Point. Is what they do. It starts at 6. The first 15 minutes is a general announcement, and then it'll go from there. Perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yep. All right, guys. Looking forward to seeing you guys next week. Have a great week. Enjoy your weekend. Take care, everybody.